Good evening. My name is Terry Crow, Planning Director for the great city of Southfield. Tonight, I will be making an executive summary presentation on the city's capital improvement program for fiscal year 2020 through fiscal year 2026. During these challenging times adjusting to the COVID-19 pandemic, we are doing our best to work remotely when possible while we continue to serve the essential needs of government, businesses, and residents. As such, we are practicing all the recommended guidelines and requirements of the CDC and the state of Michigan, including hand sanitizing, social distancing, and the use of personal protective equipment. Tonight's presentation is being made following those guidelines, and it is an important component of the city and state's budget adoption requirements. Together, we remain Southfield strong and ready to serve. What is a CIP? The Capital Improvement Program outlines a schedule of public expenditures for a 6-year period for inclusion into the annual budget. The first year represents the current budget, and years 2 through 6 are projected. It does not address all the capital expenditures for the city, but includes physical improvements that are permanent in nature and substantial equipment purchases needed for the city. A CIP is beneficial to the community because it allows for systematic evaluation of all potential projects at the same time, provides coordination between departments, and presents a uniform plan for financing. The CIP is also a requirement of the State Planning Enabling Act. A planning commission, after adoption of a master plan, shall annually prepare a capital improvements program of public structures and improvements. It is also required for the city's redevelopment ready certification. The capital improvement program shall show those public structures and improvements in the general order of their priority within the ensuing 6-year period. Consequently, each agency or department of the local unit of government with the authority for public structures or improvements shall, upon request, furnish the Planning Commission with lists, plans, and estimates of time and cost of these public structures and improvements. A full copy of the final document can be found on the Planning Department's portion of the city's website under Resources. The CIP began with a working group in November of 2019. The Planning Commission held a study session in February. The Council Finance Committee reviewed the plan on February 21st. The Planning Commission held a further study session on April 15th. Public comment and Planning Commission recommendation will be held on April 22nd. Then the plan will be presented to Council for further study on May 4th, with final adoption on May 11th. Basically, there are 8 budget categories within the CIP: equipment, facilities, water and sewer, stormwater and floodplains, parks and recreation, data management, roads and bridges, and pedestrian amenities. We'll start with equipment. The motor pool is responsible for maintaining and supplying a number of vehicles to the city, which are listed on the following slide. The police department has made a request to update their mobile command center. The current mobile command center is over 20 years old. The police department is also looking for a general purpose armored vehicle. The armored vehicle is over 12 years old, not currently under warranty. There are several other expenditures that the police department is looking for under equipment. Those include body cameras, special entry and response team weapon replacement, CERT chemical weapon replacement, license plate readers, and ballistic vests. The fire department currently maintains 23 vehicles as listed on the slide. They have provided for a 5-year needs assessment of their current vehicles as far as replacement schedule for the next 5 years. With regard to equipment, the fire department has 3 main categories: medical, fire, and miscellaneous equipment. Cable 15 is looking for new studio lights with also a new channel programmer. Facilities, which includes administration, police, fire, and the 46th District Court. The police department has requested renovation to their existing gun range, upgrades to the men's supervisor's locker room, and miscellaneous carpeting and other improvements within their building. The fire department facilities are a direct reflection of the city. Fire stations must accommodate diverse functions including housing, recreation, administration, equipment and vehicle storage, training, community education, and hazardous materials storage. It also needs to be a safe place refuge for the general public in case of emergencies, and it is important to take a proactive approach in replacing worn-out items and upgrading to more cost-efficient equipment. They currently have 5 stations which are strategically located within the city. However, the average age of their fire station is 39 years old. Facilities are showing decades worth of wear and outdated infrastructure. Here is a map of their current locations. Fire department has also provided a 5-year maintenance schedule for each of their 5 stations. With regards to overall facilities at the municipal campus, nothing lasts forever. The impact of deferred maintenance on the Southfield municipal facilities will be reviewed. With that in mind, the city has retained one of their engineers, OHM, to do a facilities assessment study, which includes all these major areas. The financial portion of the OHM facilities assessment study has been completed and submitted to the city, but the final report was not available when this presentation was prepared. However, the study does recommend expenditures for fiscal year 21 alone add up to over $20 million, with public safety, the jail, and city hall expenditures being on the top of the list. With over $20 million in building improvements recommended in fiscal year 21 alone, major building capital improvements should not be undertaken until a comprehensive facility needs assessment report is reviewed in its entirety. However, the roof of the church and the annex of the Berg should be replaced. With regards to water and sewer, which is the responsibility of the Public Works Department, this map indicates areas which will receive sewer separation, water main replacement, or road improvements over the next few years. Roads and bridges are the responsibility of the engineering department. Here is a list of 2020 projects, which includes southbound Northwestern Service Drive from Evergreen to 9 Mile, 13 Mile from Evergreen to Southfield, 12 Mile from Telegraph to Losser, Franklin to Northwestern to the northern city limits, 9 Mile from Inkster to Beach, Civic Center from Losser to Northwestern, Lake Ravine Subdivision, Tanglewood Subdivision, Section 35 Phase 2, and there may be some future projects at the Northland Center. Here is a map of current and upcoming road projects. The map indicates areas in green for projects scheduled in 2020. Stormwater and floodplains, which is the responsibility of Public Works. Stormwater management has continued to evolve over the last decade. There is a greater focus on non-traditional ways to treat stormwater. Eagle is now requiring that stormwater quality be treated as part of new regulations, and it's important to coordinate with other departments to ensure stormwater best management practices are being incorporated into future planned projects. Current stormwater projects include stream bank and infrastructure erosion beach road lift station and the Tamarack Basin project. Parks and Recreation. Parks and Recreation Department is responsible for over 770 acres of parkland and open space at 33 sites located throughout the city, which includes a 9-hole golf course, the Southfield Sports Arena, Beechwoods Recreation Center, historical properties, and Carpenter Lake and Valley Woods Nature Preserve. The department's decision-making is based on their mission statement, philosophy, and residents' needs, and includes safety impacts, event and programming needs, and service delivery needs based on user feedback. Highlighted upcoming projects include Beechwoods Greening Phase 2, Civic Center Playground renovation, Freeway Park improvements, Miller Park site development, a mobile stage replacement, Park Services rinse pad, and Parks and Recreation Senior Center complex. The data management system is responsibility of the Tech Services and GIS. Technology Services is responsible for 3 major core competencies: availability of resources, uptime, and security. The following capital improvement projects aids in this effort: cybersecurity, network switch replacement, gigabyte telephones, computer and data center replacement, iNet upgrades, and Eden Financial System replacement. Finally, the document management software and uninterruptible power supply are important for their mission statement. Finally, pedestrian enhancements are the responsibility of planning, economic development, and engineering. Our new Centropolis district has made many upgrades to exterior signage and sculpture within their district. Phase 1 of their wayfinding plan has been installed recently, which includes upgrades within the gateways of the district. Pedestrian enhancements with the engineering department includes leveraging of funding from several different sources. These sources include safe routes to school, part of larger road projects, and special assessment districts. Pedestrian enhancements with the responsibility of the planning department include art installations. The mayor will be rolling out a program for 6 new art installations in 2020. We continue to improve our bike path and citywide sidewalk gap infill and streetscape improvements. Specifically, Northwestern Highway Greenway pathway includes extending 8 to 10 foot wide pathway from Civic Center all the way down to 9 Mile, which will link the City Center District with the DDA. Wayfinding improvements continue to be made within the City Center and Centropolis. The city is guided by 2 5-year master plans within the City Center, including streetscape and wayfinding. The former Northland Center vision continues to evolve based on marketing conditions. The Planning Department recently completed a comprehensive study of over 350 bus stops and neighborhood gateway entrances within the city. Using transit propensity, the Planning Department has prioritized bus stop improvements throughout the city. This concludes my presentation on the Capital Improvement Program for fiscal years 2020 through fiscal year 2026. I'd be happy to take any questions that you have at this time. However, I do want to remind the audience this Capital Improvement Program was put in place prior to COVID-19 pandemic. Some of the projects that have been proposed in this report may not be able to be implemented due to current restrictions and guidelines under the state of emergency. Thank you.